Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today to learn more about the Master of Leadership Development degree at Penn State Great Valley. I am Danita Wright Watson, Academic Program Manager, and today I'm joined by Dr. John Sass Ik, Professor of Management and Organization and Professor in charge of the MLD program. Dr. Sass Ik has received numerous awards for excellence in research, faculty innovation, teaching, and service. He is an expert on charismatic transformational leadership, having published over 100 articles, books, book chapters, and proceedings, delivered 100 academic conference presentations since 1995, served on the editorial board of several top academic journals, and conducted training and organizational development programs for profit, military, and nonprofit organizations. Dr. Sass Ik, thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here, Danita, and I want to welcome all of our audience members.
So Dr. Sass Ik, can you tell the audience how the Master of Leadership Development aligns with the #1 skill sought by executives in any industry?
Sure. So audience members, a question for you. Are you driven by success? Are you motivated by challenges? And are you a role model for your peers? Because that's what it takes to reach the highest levels of leadership in organizations. And leadership development skill is a knowledge, skill, and ability that is valued in many, many industries. So if we take a look at the slide now, you'll see that it cuts across industries such as the traditional manufacturing industries. It is in consulting. It's in human resources, our military, the finance area, healthcare, and tech. Regardless of the industry, the #1 sought skill is leadership development. And that's not only at the upper echelons of organizations, but also at mid-level management and in lower levels of management where teamwork and collaboration is essential. And our MLD program is designed to take you to the top of the C-suite, to that strategic leadership level, and progress your career so that it certainly can soar.
Dr. Sass Ik, can you tell us what are the cornerstones of the MLD and who would they appeal to?
Okay, so what we're getting at here on this slide is the reason why leadership development is essential, which are the cornerstones of the MLD. The CEO of Southwest Airlines, the founder, Herb Kelleher, who had started the company years ago. He had just passed on this past year. He had a saying that I always share with the students, and that is, the business of business is people. It always was, and it always will be. So you think about the relationship that you have with your coworkers, with suppliers, with your customers, with your partners, business partners. The way you influence them is through the human touch. It's through the connections that you make and your ability to influence. And that's leadership. And that's what our leadership development program teaches you. Another reason why it's so essential, especially today, is with the 4th industrial revolution that we're currently engaged in. We are so connected with technology like never before. You think about social media, you think about other forms of advanced information technology that allow us to communicate and collaborate. We are constantly connected, constantly on. And because of that, the global reach and the teamwork and the virtual work, working from home and collaborating with business partners, is now enhanced through technology. And one of the topics that we cover in the MLD program is called e-leadership, and we give you the skills to do that. Now, because we're so connected and because everything to this extent is a digital imprint, the idea of ethics becomes so important today. And in our MLD program, we have a large group of courses that you could choose from that give you the skill sets to allow you to make those ethical decisions and to lead with character as we train in our program. And another trend that we see today is the idea that we have such a rapid change of industry and products and services and technologies that are being introduced that we need to be able to respond very, very quickly. And so the way that you can do that is through a style of leadership, which we call transformational leadership. It's how we adapt change and promote people through time. So these are the four cornerstones that are really trends that are out there, and we ready you for those for higher levels of success.
And Dr. Sass Ik, can you tell us what sets the Master of Leadership Development faculty apart from those in other programs?
Sure. The idea here is that the people make the place. And when we think about the people that are part of our program, let's start with our faculty. Now, the faculty are not just instructors. Our faculty are the people who are conducting the state-of-the-art research, working with corporations like those that you work in, with the military, with education, and bringing that state-of-the-art knowledge back to the classroom so that you could take what's being taught and implement it, put it to use at work the next day. And we're a nice blend of not only traditional academics, but also most of our professors, including myself, started out working in industry. And so we've got real world experience plus the rigor of the academic background that you would expect at a Big Ten university like Penn State to give you the highest level of excellence in education. Now let's talk about our outstanding students. And Danita is one of our graduates, and that's why I'm so happy that she's here with me today. And she could attest to the fact that our student body is extremely diverse. It's going to have much more range in age and functional areas across many different organizational job positions compared to other programs. And they also tend to be a little bit more advanced in the age, and they tend to be mid-level to senior level management people, but also we have some people right out of undergraduate who want to get a head start on developing those leadership skills. So that's what makes it so diverse. And because the students not only learn from the faculty, from the experiences that we have with linking them to companies and experiential exercises, they also learn from themselves. And that's really what puts them on the path to the higher levels of promotion and advancement of their career, as we say, put you on the path to the C-suite.
Dr. Sass Ik, we recently revised the Master of Leadership Development program. So can you speak on the added benefit of the new program and how it is preparing students to enter the C-suite?
Yeah, this is what's really exciting. So you might be considering a number of different graduate level programs in business, including the Master of Leadership Development. And some of the concerns students will have is that, well, it's been a while since I've written a paper. It may not be strong in certain areas like quantitative areas where you might be stronger in the people side of things. That's nothing to worry about because we start you off in a pre-program exercise which gives you the skill sets to bring you up to speed if that is a concern, and this is done before the first course in the program. We also give you a unique skills assessment which provides you ideas on your strengths and what we're trying to develop in your leadership, and that's fed back to you to help you pick and choose the courses that would benefit you the most. And so you could think of it as a type of coaching and mentoring even before you open the doors to climb the steps to reach that C-suite, the strategic level, leadership level. So that's a unique feature. We emphasize the state-of-the-art topics in leadership, which is authentic leadership, and the foundation of our program is transformational leadership model. We give you the skills of critical thinking and data analytics, because data analytics is so important today in every aspect of business. So that gives you what we call our fundamental coursework, the cornerstones of the program. And then the foundation of our program is this idea of transformational leadership. And we then take a deep dive into 4 different areas that train you in those areas. Now, first, in order to be that transformational leader that I talked about, being a dynamic communicator, a great speaker who's able to take the organization's vision and get people excited about teamwork and what their jobs are and to collaborate. That's a course that Dr. Petoskey teaches, and that works well. That's the dynamic communication and visioning area. Another skill set we look at is getting you ready for this idea that today we're in a global business environment. So we need to build this diverse mindset, this global mindset. So we're leveraging diversity. We're teaching you how to lead with diversity across cultures. That's another part. In order to promote change, you need to be innovative, you need to be creative. And so we've got a nice set of courses that you could pick and choose from that promote that aspect of transformational leadership. And as I mentioned before, really the cornerstone of transformational leadership is its foundation in strong character and ethics. So a nice variety of courses there to choose from. Now remember, leadership does not occur in a vacuum. You guys come from many different industries, different functional areas. So we've redesigned the program to give you lots of choices. So in the leadership context now, we've got 4 courses where you pick and choose within and between those 4 different functional areas that you see on the slide: business, technical, entrepreneurship, or psychological perspectives of leadership. What best suits your situation, and you tailor it to what your needs are. The other thing that's interesting about these courses also is we have partnered with the Penn State's School of Psychology, Department of Psychology, some of their courses in the psychological area. And these courses, along with some courses taught in our engineering division, are offered not only 50% online, but also 100% online, so that if you need that option in a certain semester, we give you that choice as well. So when you add up all these different skills, they are what gets you ready for our capstone course, which is the Strategic Leadership course. And you can see that at the top of our screen here. And so you're at the top of the leadership level, the C-level leadership. And here to train you, you will be interacting with real CEOs, interviewing them, bringing back the knowledge, tying back to what you've learned throughout the whole program, and also participating in a very innovative simulation where students play the roles of executives, CEO, COO, Chief Information Officer, CFO, Marketing Officer, and they collaborate in this C-suite team to run a business and compete against other students in the course. And taking it all together, that provides you the path to the C-suite.
Thank you, Dr. Sass Ik. So by now, I'm imagining you are probably wondering, what are my next steps? How can I apply to this program? So I can share that with you. To apply, you would want to upload a copy of your official transcript to the application. You'll want to include a current resume. That resume should be as detailed as possible. There are 2 essay questions outlined on the application, 2 300-word essay questions. Next would be the contact information for 2 references, 2 people who can speak to your leadership ability and your ability to excel in the program. And then lastly, just to make you aware, the GMAT or GRE is not a requirement for the program. So you do not need to submit GMAT or GRE scores. If you have them already, feel free to submit them for review. If they're strong scores, they'll only help your application, but they are not required. So at this time, let's hear from you. So we're going to pause to allow you to compile your questions and we can answer them. So just please take a few seconds to send us your questions and we'll answer them in the order that they're received. Okay, Dr. Sass Ik, we have a question. Someone would like to know, are there opportunities for students to assist in research?
Sure. We have projects that our faculty collaborate with. Let me give you some examples from the past. We've had students come in to help us with our work with Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, where we did a study of leader character as a predictor of mission success. The Air Force is very interested in not only sustaining and have successful missions, but also the psychological well-being of their airmen and subordinates. And so we had collected data and we had published several papers out of that. And one or two of our students were actively involved in that, and they were able to get authorship and also help out with some training modules that we developed and shared with the Air Force. So in the future, we're now interested in the idea of this fourth industrial revolution and how technology now, the machines are being connected to each other with the Internet of Things, and you as a leader being connected to not only your people in the organization, but also to these machines and how complicated things are going to get. And again, this is something because the military is always on the forefront of using technology in that. And so that's another project that we have coming down the pike, and we're always looking for students to help us out on research projects. And there are other projects that other faculty members look at that they could address, but those are the ones that I've been actively involved in.
Thank you. We have another question. What should be the minimum length of industry experience an applicant should have?
Okay, so typically we like to look at, and correct me if I'm wrong, 3 to 5 years of experience. Now, we do make exceptions for that. It might be that you will have significant experience, say, in the community or maybe in your school as a leader of different groups, different community groups, in your previous work. So we look at the specifics. So that's why when you send us your application with your resume, and we'll look at the letters of recommendation very carefully and your transcripts, we get a better sense of really the whole person and their experience. Now, my former students and the students who have graduated from the program, I'd have to say that that minimum level ranges very much. I say typically the students in the program have had maybe 5-10 years experience, but at the same time, I've also had people who are maybe a year out, but they've done a lot of work with Penn State as an undergrad on different community projects and in some of they're very active in some of the social groups, campus groups. So we are really flexible on that. And it's more of something that we look at you as a whole person rather than a specific number.
Thank you. Someone else would like to know, what do we do in terms of job placement? And I can answer that question. So we do have a career management services office with a career counselor who works with our students in that respect. While we do not place students in jobs the way you might see maybe at an undergraduate campus, we don't do actual placement, but we do provide students with opportunities for them to explore on their own. Our career counselor shares job leads that come in. We often get companies that are looking to hire our students. We host a career fair on campus where area companies come in to look to hire our students. And we also transport our students to the career fair that's held at University Park, our much larger campus. They hold a larger scale career fair twice a year, and we do transport our students there. We also have several corporate alliance partners, companies that we work with, and they give us preference when they are looking to hire positions, and we share those opportunities with our students as well. So while we don't place students in positions, again, we do give them the opportunities to explore. We'll give you a couple more minutes to see if there are any other last minute questions. Please feel free to send them. Okay, that appears to be all of the questions at this time, but this is not your last shot to ask questions. Please feel free to reach out to me directly. My email address is drw, that's D as in Danita, R as in Robert, W, 115 at psu.edu. And again, my name is Danita, Denita, Wright Watson, and I'll be glad to answer any further questions regarding the program or the application process. If you have any more detailed questions, I'll be glad to share those with Dr. Sass Ik and get back to you. But please feel free to reach out if we didn't cover your question today, or if you were a little shy about asking. And also you can expect to receive the recording of today's event, and please feel free to pass it along to a colleague, a friend who maybe couldn't make it today. So with that, I want to thank you, Dr. Sass Ik, for sharing your time with us. We really enjoyed learning more about the program.
My pleasure, and I want to thank the audience members for joining us, and would be happy to get back to you with any responses to your questions, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Sass Ik, and thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great day.